The wind that night did not move like wind. It circled, it watched, it waited. Inside the red clay fortress of Zafira, torches flickered against carved walls that told stories of kings who listened to spirits and queens who healed droughts with prayer. But Prince Jabari did not believe in spirits. He believed in power. Below him, musicians played. Silk-clad nobles laughed too loudly. Gold bowls overflowed with spiced meat and dates. Outside the fortress gates, the desert groaned in hunger. "Your Highness," an elder said carefully, stepping forward from the feast. His beard was white, his back bent, but his voice steady. "The wells in the southern villages have dried. They ask permission to draw from the royal reserve." Jabari leaned back on his carved throne, gold glinting at his wrists. "If they cannot keep their wells full," he said lazily, "perhaps they should pray harder." A ripple of uncomfortable laughter followed. The elder did not laugh. "There are things older than kings, my prince. The desert hears." "The desert," Jabari said, standing now, irritation flashing in his eyes, "is sand." As if summoned by defiance, the doors of the feast hall creaked open. An old woman stood there. No guards announced her. No one stopped her. She simply stood, wrapped in worn indigo cloth, face lined like cracked earth, holding a wooden staff. "Water," she said. The musicians faltered. The nobles recoiled at the dust clinging to her hem. "Water for the thirsty," she continued calmly. "Your kingdom dries while you feast." Jabari descended the steps slowly. "Who allowed this beggar inside?" "I allowed myself," she replied. Her eyes were wrong. Not old, deep, ancient. "Leave," Jabari ordered. "I offer you a gift instead," she said, reaching into her cloth and revealing a small carved god sealed with wax. "A reminder." He laughed. "A reminder from you?" He knocked the god from her hand. It shattered against the red clay floor. A dark liquid seeped into the cracks like ink finding veins. Gasps filled the hall. The old woman straightened. "You mock what you do not understand," she said softly. Thunder cracked above the fortress, though the sky had been clear moments before. Her form began to shift, not grotesque, not monstrous, but luminous. Her back straightened, her voice layered with wind. "I came to see if a king lived here, but I find only pride." The torches blew out at once. Darkness swallowed the hall. When light returned, the old woman was gone, and so was Prince Jabari. He woke choking on sand. Not outside, inside. The feast hall lay in ruins around him, though no one else stirred. The air felt heavy, thick, charged. He tried to stand. His hands struck the floor. They were not hands, claws, dark, curved, heavy. His breath came rough, deeper than before. He scrambled toward a fallen metal tray and caught his reflection. Horns curved from his temples. His jaw was broader, fangs breaking past his lips. His skin bore faint lines like hardened clay. His eyes, still his, burned gold. A roar tore from his throat without permission. The fortress answered. The walls trembled. Sand seeped through cracks. Outside, a storm gathered, not passing through, but circling, sealing. The gates fused shut as if the clay itself melted and hardened again. The desert rose like a wall around the fortress, and no one inside could leave. Far from the red fortress, in a village where clay houses sat low against the wind, a girl named Kira stood barefoot in morning dust, grinding herbs beside her father's healing table. Again, her father said gently, "You rush when you think." She exhaled and slowed her hands. "I don't rush. You do because you feel things before they happen." She did not argue. She did feel things. Sometimes she dreamed of storms before clouds formed. Sometimes she sensed when someone would fall ill before fever came. And sometimes, when she looked toward the north where the dunes shimmered red at sunset, her chest tightened for no reason she could explain. Villagers whispered about her quietly, the healer's daughter, touched by wind, destined. Kira ignored it. Destiny was a word people used when they feared coincidence. She preferred action. That afternoon, a traveler collapsed near the well. His skin burned hot. Strange dark veins marked his neck. Her father frowned deeply. This is not fever. The man gripped Kira's wrist with surprising strength. Red walls, he rasped. It started after the storm. He died before sunset. 3 more fell ill that week. The elders gathered. It spreads from the north, one murmured. From the cursed fortress, another said under his breath. Her father stood. I will go. Kira's head snapped up. You will not. I must see it myself. You don't know what lives there. Exactly. He placed a hand on her cheek. You are strong, stronger than you know, but this is my path. He left before dawn. He did not return. The night Kira decided to go after him, the wind moved in circles, not like wind, like watching. She packed dried herbs, water skins, and her father's carved staff. At the edge of the village, Kito stepped from shadow. He had always watched her too closely. You think you can survive that desert? He asked. I don't plan to die in it. He smiled faintly. There are treasures in that fortress. Gold, power. I'm not going for treasure. Of course you are not. But he followed her anyway, at a distance. The desert is not empty. It breathes, it tests, it strips you of what you pretend to be. By the second day, Kira's lips cracked. Her water ran low. By the third, she began to see things in the dunes, shadows that moved against wind. On the fourth night, the storm rose, not random, calling. She did not run from it. She stepped into it, and through the sand veil, she saw it, the red fortress, towering. Inside, the beast heard her before he saw her. Footsteps, light, steady, not frantic. He moved silently along the upper balcony and looked down as she entered the courtyard. She did not scream. She did not fall back. She studied the walls, the murals, the sand that seemed to shift like breath. Father, she called softly. The beast dropped from the balcony. The ground shook. She turned. Their eyes met. Fear flashed across her face, but she did not run. You are not a demon, she said quietly. He snarled. Leave. Not without him. Humans who enter here do not leave. Then I will stay. Silence stretched between them. No one had ever spoken to him without trembling. You would trade your freedom, he asked, for his. He studied her. There was no pride in her stance, no challenge, only resolution. He turned away. He lives, he said, in the East Tower. Relief flooded her face. Take his place. She did not hesitate. Yes. The gate sealed behind her like a final breath.